Hello and welcome to my 1978 Pontiac Firebird Trans Am. Now this car is extremely powerful, extremely fast, and it can spin its wheels all the way from first gear to third on the grippiest tires in Gran Turismo 7. Now the reason it can do that is because it is no standard Pontiac Firebird. This car has something special and something unique to Gran Turismo 7. And that's the ability to engine swap this with an LS9 engine. For those who didn't know, that engine comes out of the Chevrolet Corvette C601. In my opinion, one of the best all-American sports cars in the game and my favorite American car in Gran Turismo 7. So, since I love the engine in the Corvette so much, I should absolutely love it in the Pontiac Firebird. Now it's one thing to take a stock C601's engine and drop it into a Firebird. It's another thing to still go ahead and fully upgrade that engine, because in Gran Turismo 7, when you fully upgrade the LS9, it reaches 946 brake horsepower, which is quite a lot. And in my opinion, it may be a little bit too much for the little Firebird to handle. But as you can see, this car makes for an absolute smoke machine. The minute you put your foot down going around a corner, those rear tires are gonna light up and you are just gonna take it sideways. Now this is with zero traction control on. And in my opinion, yes, this is all fun and good. Yes, oh jolly, it can smoke up the rear tires. But if you actually want to use this vehicle for competitive racing, or actually want to just go fast around the circuit, there's actually a few things you need to do, or a few things that you actually need to know before you get behind the wheel of this car. And what was surprising to me was actually the amount of understeer that this vehicle actually produces. Now the car, somehow when you come up to a corner, it doesn't happen every time. It's just a on and off thing, so you never know when you're actually gonna experience understeer. So then you let off from the understeer and you just try and counter the understeer. But the minute you hit that accelerator, the rear wheels are gonna light up and you're gonna be greeted with oversteer. So you're gonna go from fighting understeer to fighting oversteer to just keep this car in line. And I must admit, it is quite fun. It's quite an exciting experience because the car keeps you on your toes. It's not like, how do I say, a group 2 vehicle, a group 1 vehicle, where, okay, you can go flat out through some corners. You don't have to stress about the car trying to end you. This car, I swear it has an agenda against you because it will try and put you in a barrier. But that's what I love about these engine swap vehicles. Now I actually did mention this vehicle in a video I made a couple of, 2 weeks ago, talking about some of my least favorite things or what I don't like about engine swaps. And I use the Trans Am as the example. In my eyes, I feel like the Trans Am has a bit too much power to actually put down to the ground, because if you actually take out a little bit of power, even if you drop the power down to 700, then the car will still give you that same experience of lighting up the rear tires, but it will gain traction a lot faster, which means if you gain in traction, you are going to be going down the circuit a lot faster, which means your car is just going to be a lot faster even though you took out about 200 horsepower. Then people were not happy about that and they told me I just need to learn to tune. Look, I never said I'm the best at tuning, but I have improved a lot. If you go back to my original Gran Turismo 7 videos, then you will see that, in my opinion, I think my driving has improved as well as my tuning ability. I know I'm saying my driving improved and I literally spun out in this video, but the Trans Am Firebird with the LS9. If you pull out and have around 700 horsepower, this car is actually chef's kiss. It is almost perfect when it comes to just being a really good car. Now when it comes to cornering, that is the downside of this vehicle. Now usually I go ahead over to GT Auto, add a front splitter or rear wing to just help out with this car's cornering ability. Now for the Pontiac Firebird, you actually aren't able to add a front wing, so you aren't able to adjust the front downforce. You can add a rear wing to the vehicle, but it looks like Forza Aero, and I was like, no, I'd rather suffer than put that hideous wing on my Trans Am. But if you're very dedicated to making this the extreme track vehicle, go ahead, slap that rear wing on, and it will improve the car's handling tenfold. Now, you don't actually need to have a massive rear wing to make this into a race car, because trust me, even with the amount of power, if it had no steering ability, when it comes to the 30-minute events around Le Mans, this car is going to reign supreme, because with Le Mans having those massive straightaways, even if a car does struggle around the corners, it will always make up on the straightaways. Now, even with the car being on Fuel Map 6, you can see it is flying past the AI on the hardest difficulty, making it honestly look like a cakewalk. On the straightaway, the car is able to do over 300 kilometers per hour with absolute ease, no stress, no care about it. The car just climbs, and that's really impressive. But where the car does suffer now is the braking system, and this has always been a thing, in my opinion, with engine swap vehicles. Yes, we can chuck all the power you want at these cars, but the braking system can just not keep up with it. Like, you'll be traveling over 400 kilometers per hour, slam on the brakes, and absolutely nothing. You are going flying into a wall, and there's absolutely nothing you can do about it. So, the braking system is not the best on the Firebird, but I mean, it's not really the best on most engine swap vehicles. Now, around Le Mans, the car was actually able to set a first lap time of 4 minutes and 10 seconds. Now, this is actually quite fast compared to some Group 4 vehicles which struggle to do a sub 4 minute 20 second lap. So, in my eyes, if a vehicle is able to do a sub 4 minute 15 second lap, the car can finish in first place against the hardest AI. And now, the downfall of having an extremely powerful V8 is fuel efficiency. Who would have guessed it? And that's because now with the LS9, after every second lap, you are gonna have to dive into the pits. And unlike other faster cars where, okay, they also have to use a refuel after 2 laps, those cars are able to do over 350 kilometers per hour. This does not come close, and it really just makes the event and the racing a lot tighter with the AI, because okay, you like close in the gap on the AI, but then you're gonna have to dive into the pits, then you're gonna create a lead, you're gonna overtake them, then you have to dive into the pits, and it just keeps going on like this until the end of the race. So, do I suggest you using this car as a money grinding vehicle? Is this the best car for this event? Absolutely not. Like, it's not. I really struggle to find a perfect place to actually use this. I mean, drag racing lobbies, but even then, people don't really like it because the car's engine swapped and they see it as unfair because other players don't have it. But that's really the only place I can see this car being used efficiently, because if the event has anything to do with your fuel rate decreasing, well, the LS9 is not going to be the best. This is genuinely just a straight line monster, perfect for drag racing. So if you have this swap, let me know what you think about it. Yes, with some tuning it can be perfect and dialed in and what, but this is my experience. I'm an amateur when it comes to tuning. I'm an absolute noob, so I don't think look, you might be one of the best tuners, but hey, to every other everyday player, they might struggle with this vehicle. So this is my opinion on the LS9 powered Pontiac Firebird Trans Am. If you did go on to enjoy this video, don't forget leave a like and subscribe for more Gran Turismo 7 content, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.